teach you how to find a driver a job, how to move around this website, what you want to click on and what you don't want to click on. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pay attention to these. Never change these. There's just no point. There's no reason to do it because your driver has to live within a certain hiring radius set by JB Hunt to make sure they can get to work on time, basically, because nobody wants a long commute. So they have to be within the hiring radius, or your driver, even if they're the perfect driver and they're completely qualified, they'll be rejected for being outside of the hiring radius. So you have to get the zip code every time. You don't mess with any of this. That is redundant. All you do is put in the zip code. So let's say we have the driver on the phone. The driver calls. We say, hey, you applied to a job I had posted. Are you still looking for work? At this point, we should already have their name and phone number off of the leads. So you should be able to say, hey, Percy, you applied to a job I had posted. Are you still looking for work, brother? And then he'll let you know, and you'll say, awesome. Well, give me your zip code, and I'll see what I got available in your area. He's going to tell you his zip code. You'll put it in. While it's spinning, you'll ask him, how much experience do you have driving a tractor trailer without a trainer? This is important because JB has different experience requirements. Some are 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 months experience required. If your driver says, I've been driving for 3 months, but 2 months was with a trainer, he doesn't qualify because they only count solo experience. So before you even start clicking on things, you want to know how long your driver has been driving. So if he says, I've been driving for 12 months, we're going to use that for training purposes to make this easy. You'll say, awesome. Was 3 months of that without a trainer recently? He'll say, yeah. You'll say, okay, well, what kind of home time are you looking for? Don't ask him, do you want local, regional, or over the road? Because now you're letting him take control of the conversation. Ask him what kind of home time. He'll probably say, I'd like to be home every day, but I can handle being home, on the weekends or once a week. So now we know we can go for anything local, semi-local, regional. We should have room to play with. If he lived in a different area, over the road might pull up. So let's go over the differences in that. Local means they get home every day. Semi-local means they get home anywhere from 1 to 3 nights a week plus a reset. And a reset is the same thing as time off. They get to come home and they're home for 34 to 48 hours and they go back on the road. Regional is home weekly from anywhere from 1 to 2 days. So that means during the week they're sleeping in the truck stop in the back of their truck and then they come home. Over the road, they're out 7 to 11 days or more, and they're in the truck the whole time. So let's just say this driver wants a local position. This is what the job description looks like. It looks like a lot to take in, but after, a week or two of looking at this, you'll know exactly where to look. First thing you're going to tell the driver is you have a local position out of Windsor Locks. They'll get home every day with 2 days off. You don't want to say you'll get 5 days on, 2 days off. That sounds confusing for a driver. That makes it sound like they're not getting home every day. So because it's local, they get home every day and they have 2 days off. So you're going to say, I found a local position in Windsor Locks. You'll get home every day with 2 days off. You're going to make an average of $1,540 a week. That's $1,540. You're going to operate within a 250-mile radius of Windsor Locks. Now down here, it's always in the same order, whether it's a dedicated, intermodal, or truckload, and that's the business type, and it's always listed up there at the top. It's always broken down by sections from the pay breakdown to their shift to job-specific details. I do not advise that you go over the pay breakdown because then you're going to pull out your calculator just to come up with this number. So there's no reason to do all this work when the number's already up here. You don't want to tell the yearly gross either because then they're going to make you pull out your calculator to tell them their weekly pay average. So just go ahead and tell them $1,540 a week. Then you're going to come down here to the days off and shift. You're going to say, all right, well, you get home 5 days a week with 2 days off. So you're either going to have Tuesday and Wednesday off or Wednesday and Saturday off. You'll have to unload with a pallet jack. You'll start between 1 and 5 a.m. every day. You will have to deliver in New York City. You normally have 2 to 3 stops a trailer. You normally do 2 loads per day or 1 long load. Some trailers will have lift gates. You get paid training, $140 a day for 5 to 10 days. And at this point, you want to ask the driver, is that something you can roll with, or would you like for me to look at something else? Notice I didn't read everything on the page. Normally, you can just hit key points. And the key things drivers want to know is how often will I get home? Where am I driving? Do I have to unload the truck or not? How much money will I make? And if you notice, that's exactly what I hit on. If the driver wants to ask more questions, all the information you need is going to be right here and on the JB Hunt page under Truckers for Hire. So at this point, the driver, let's say the driver's good with everything and they're ready to get transferred to JB. So what we're going to do is we're going to get information from the driver. We should already have his name and phone number. The job number is always up here at the top. So you're going to put that, whether you put it on a sticky note app or you're writing it on a piece of notebook paper in a notebook, it doesn't matter. So you'll put the driver's name, phone number, job number. To get their zip code before you transfer to JB, you hit go back. Don't hit the arrow up here because it'll take you all the way out of all this. Just hit go back, copy the zip code, drop it in there. You're going to want to know the tier. We're on Windsor Locks. The tier is 2. You are paid differently by the tier. This is not the driver's business. That's only for you and your record. And at this point, you're going to tell the driver, what I'm going to do is get you on the phone with JB Hunt. Have you ever applied with JB Hunt before? The driver's going to tell you yes or no. If they have, ask them how it went, because then if the driver's been rejected because they shot up a liquor store or they ran over a grandma in a parking lot, they're going to tell you then, and then you'll know, okay, well, I can't submit this driver. He's already been rejected. If they haven't, then they'll let you know, no, I haven't applied before, so you got a good chance. So you'll say, I'll call you back within the next 5 minutes from an 800 number. Make sure you answer, because that'll be me and the JB Hunt scheduler on the phone. At this point, you want to get the driver to commit to follow-up calls, because after a driver's scheduled, you have to make sure they go take their drug test, and they sign their releases, and they send in pictures of their medical card front and back. I'll go over that in another training video. So at this point, you'll say, we're going to call you back within 5 minutes from an 800 number. Make sure you answer. Also, once you get scheduled, I'm going to be reaching out to you periodically before your first day of work to make sure everything's going smoothly. For you, can you agree that you'll answer the phone? I'll never be calling with bad news. It'll always be good news or helpful advice. The driver will say yeah, and then you get off the phone. The reason that you do that is because you want the driver to commit to talking to you, and you want him to know that you'll have to check in with him or her. Sometimes it's girl. So you'll get off the phone, you'll call JB. You'll say, they'll answer the phone, you'll say, hey, this is Lauren with Be Exposed. I have a driver for you. They're going to ask you for the driver's name, phone number, and the job number. When they pick up the phone, make sure you take note of their name. They'll say, hey, this is Amy with JB Hunt. So then you'd put Amy down, right? Now you have it. Now the reason you have to get this information is because if you put a driver over here on Google Docs and I don't get an update in over an hour, an hour's already gone by and there's no update, I have to send the name, the zip code, the phone number, the job number, all this information I have to send to JB in an email to request an update to see what happened. So make sure you get all that information. They're going to get the driver on the phone. Once the driver is on the phone, you're going to introduce the driver to the rep. So in this case, you would say, hey, Percy, this is Lauren. I have Amy on the phone with JB. She's going to take care of you from here. The driver will say, okay, thank you. And then the JB Hunt scheduler will say hello. And when you hear the driver say hello back, hang up, because it's illegal for you to listen to them, give their social security number or any health information or anything like that, because they have to do a complete app on the phone. And you can't listen to that. So you hang up the phone, and that's when you come over here and you put their info in. And like I said, within 1 hour, I will update that for you. So let's go over this a few more times. We currently do not hire owner-operators. Let's see what this pulls up. You might have to, if you're already in here and it changes the state, you might have to go back and clear that out. All right, that gave us a pretty good mix. All right, so if you're going over a job description, you'll notice most of these have city and state listed. Don't submit a driver on a job that just has the state listed. These are all relocation packages, and that means the driver has to move somewhere else, and it could be on the other side of the country. We do not get paid for these. We are not contracted to hire for these. So don't click on anything that just has the state listed. Also, we don't hire owner-operators with JB Hunt, so make sure it doesn't say owner-operator. It's got to say local, regional, semi-local, or over the road. No owner-operator, and no jobs with just the state listed. They have to have a city and state. So one more time, We're going to pick a job. We'll do regional, and we're going to go over the job description just so you can get a quick feel for how to do it. All right, the job number's up here. Pays right here. Business unit. Sign-on bonus. Days on, days off. Operating area. There's the pay breakdown. Here's the shift. Here's the job-specific details. So, here we go. You're going to say, hey, driver, I got a regional position out of Chicago that pays $1,500 a week. It gets you home for 2 days a week, so you only be on the road 5 nights a week. It's got a $5,000 sign-on bonus. You will need to get your hazmat within 60 days, and you'll be operating in the states of Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota. At times, you may have to operate out of the Minneapolis, Minnesota rail as well. It's all no-touch freight. Top earners on this account make over $92,000 a year. You will get paid for training. Training's 5 days long. It's just account-specific training. You're going to make $150 a day while you do that. Now, for your 2 days off every week, you may select any 2 consecutive days off except Saturday and Sunday for your 34-hour reset. So if you want to take Friday and Saturday or Sunday and Monday, they're more than happy to do that for you. There is a $100 week bonus for drivers that work Thursday through Monday or Friday through Tuesday. That's $5,000 a year. You can take the truck home for time off. It's 60% drop and hook, and like I said, it's no-touch freight. Does that sound like something you can hang with? And at this point, if the driver has any more questions, they'll go ahead and ask you. If you need something else to throw as a piece of candy or a benefit to keep them happy and interested, you tell them, you get flat rate holiday pay. It's $190 a day. You get 6 of those holidays a year. You get full benefits, 401k, you get medical, dental, vision, disability, life, and company match 401k. That's all down here at the bottom. So at this point, you would go to transfer. You'd say, all right, well, if everything sounds good, I'm going to go ahead and get you on the phone to get you scheduled as soon as possible. The great thing about getting scheduled with JB Hunt is that you get paid to do orientation at home online. So once you get scheduled, you're already making a paycheck. You don't have to wait and fly out to orientation and stay in a hotel and all that. Not like with other carriers. JB Hunt really cares about their drivers, and they want to make sure that you have money coming in at all times when you're under them. I'll go over that, how that works, and the DTW process in the next video, but this should help you get the gist of how to sell a driver on a JB Hunt job. Thank you.